Okay, good morning everybody. We are here for our new Baltic Talk. And Happy New Year, because this is our first Baltic Talk in 2019. We are here with Carlén. You should know that she is our Biodiversity Nature Conservation Officer. And in our first Baltic Talk, we talk about our little friend here, the harbor porpoise. And we talk about who is this animal, why it is endangered. And I think it's useful for those who would not follow the first one to have a short recap.
Yes. So the harbor porpoise is the only cetacean that lives in the Baltic Sea year-round. We have a threatened population here. There are only a few hundred animals left. So the reason that we have so few left is that we've had big issues with environmental contaminants and also with bycatch in gill nets. So when a porpoise has to breathe air, just like us, so it comes to the surface and breathes. And then if it gets caught in a fishing net, then it drowns because it cannot come to the surface. Okay, so that's one of the main problems for porpoises and cetaceans all around the world.
So why we are here today? I know that you have received a box 2 days ago. So can you show us what is the content?
Yes, so
why you received it?
Last week we got a big box full of these, 100 of these little boxes. And these are pingers. So this is what we call a pinger. And what it is, it's a little device that makes sounds to make sure that cetaceans are aware that there's something in the water, a fishing net. So these makes these little beeping noises, and you put them on the fishing net. So you put one of these every 100 meters or so, and that warns the porpoises or dolphins or whatever you have that there is something in the water that they should look out for. So that's a pinger.
So this is one of the methods to avoid bycatch.
Yes, exactly. So bycatch is a problem globally for small cetaceans, and especially when we have a critically endangered population, as we do in the Baltic Sea. So this is one of the tools that you can use to decrease bycatch. Okay. There are other ways as well, but this is when you have fisheries. This is one of the ways that you can use.
But why this is so special?
Yeah. So in the Baltic Sea, we have seals, and the seal population, especially the gray seal population, has increased quite dramatically. We had a serious situation for the gray seal in the 80s, 70s, and 80s. We had really low populations of seals in the Baltic, but they have increased, which is really good, except it causes a problem for the fisheries. So seals come to the fishing nets because they know there's food there. So they come there and they pick at the fish caught in the net, which is obviously a problem because the fisherman gets his catch destroyed, basically. So, and the more seals we have in the Baltic, the more this becomes a problem. And we've had, since the harbor porpoise population in the Baltic has been threatened for a few decades, we've had trials with pingers before, except the problem was that the seals turned out to be able to hear the pingers and learn that the pingers meant food. Okay. So the seals learned that if I hear this sound, that means there's a fishing net, which means I can go there and get dinner. Yeah, that's called the dinner bed effect.
So fishermen was not so happy about it.
Exactly. The fishermen were not happy at all about using pingers, which we might need them to do to save the porpoise. So this is a new model of pinger that we hope are not audible to seals. Because seals hear about the same frequencies as we humans do, but porpoises hear a lot higher frequencies. Okay. So what you can do is make the pinger make noise in a higher frequency, which is above the seal hearing, but within the harbor porpoise hearing. So the idea is that this thing will make high frequency sounds that the seals cannot hear, but the porpoises can. So yeah, so that's what now we're not going to try in this new project.
But where and who are the partners?
Yes. So this is a project that's funded by Postkod-lotteriet, the Postcode lottery in Sweden. It's a lottery that gives funding to projects. Yes.
For the protection of the environment.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. And the main partner in the project is WWF Sweden. We have a small part in this project where we will look at how to decrease bycatch and the use of fingers in that. So what we will do is that we have now bought 100 of these. This is a brand of finger from Future Oceans. And we've got 100 of these and 100 of another brand. And we will have fishermen help us. So they will put these fingers on their nets and they will record how much damage they have to their catch, depending on if they have fingers on or not.
And where exactly in the Baltic Sea? I mean, so there is a specific area? Or?
One of the aims here is to protect this new Natura 2000 area in the Baltic Sea, which is designated specifically for purposes. But the fishermen that we work with, they fish in the entire Baltic Harbor, basically. So they will use these fingers all over the Baltic, wherever they set their nets. We will ask them to do this because the important thing is to get data on the seal problem. So the aim is, interestingly, not to look at whether or not these do decrease the bycatch of purposes. We know from other studies that these work, that they work to decrease bycatch, but it's not very effective to look at that in the Baltic Sea because there's so few porpoises and so very few bycatches.
But there is another aim.
So the aim is to look at if the seals basically can hear this or not. So we are hoping that there will be no difference between the nets with fingers and the nets without fingers, because that means that the seals cannot hear them and hence cannot learn to come to the net.
And for how long can you say? How long it would be?
Yeah, we'll be running this for about a year.
Okay.
So we have at least 2 or 3 fishermen that will help us to deploy nets with and without fingers. And then we will analyze this data and hopefully...
So maybe next year we will have another...
Yes, exactly. Hopefully
outcomes.
we can have some sort of results in about a year.
Okay, good. Very good. And well, I think that for this project we will say everything for now because we don't have all the details, but it will start when? I don't know if...
So the fishing season starts in early spring. So I'm hoping to get these fingers out to the fishermen. I'm now translating the instructions for the fingers to Swedish. And it has, so you can open this. This is like a, I don't know if I can do it. So you open it like this. And you can,
they cannot see.
Oh, sorry. So this is like the cover, which you tie to the net, and then you take this electronic capsule out. So, and this unscrews. So you, I don't know if I can do it. No. It unscrews and it has the electronics and it has a battery. So that you can unscrew it and change the battery if it doesn't work. And these start working when they're put into water. So they're not making noise sounds now, but when you put it in the water, it's going to start beeping. Yeah, and this is set to a frequency of 70 kilohertz, which is hopefully about seal hearing.
We hope so.
It should be, but yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So now you know what it is. This
finger.
And I just want to remember that we have our brochure on Baltic agriculture, and we have this brochure also on our website in all the Baltic Sea languages. So if you want to read it and download it and share it, you can do it. You can see it. This is in English, but as I said, we have all the Baltic languages. And I think that's it for today. So thank you, Ida.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for watching us. See you next time. Bye.